Alright guys, so we did an Instagram live today for Motivational Monday. I had some amazing people send in some comments, send in some questions and topics, so I rifled through those things. Check it out right here, right now, and get inspired. Figured I'd give you guys a little intro on my voice warm-up for when I film these things. So normally I do something fun like this. Limericking leprechauns like lemon lollipops. Motivational Monday must master my mindset. You know, just some of those little alliterations, get the voice going, get the voice flowing, and ready to do this thing. So just got to say thank you to everyone that submitted some questions. We're going to put those questions through right now, and then we're going to open it up for a live Q&A here for about 5 minutes after we go through the questions that got sent in. So here we go. First thing I want to encourage you with was this word, a topic that someone sent in, but it actually really encouraged me. And so I was like, dang man, we've got to share this thing. This is awesome. It's from my buddy Luca Woolston, all the way from New Zealand. How you doing, Mike? And Melody, I see you're on here from New Zealand as well. So New Zealand is in the house. I love it. Anyway, Luca said this and it really impacted me. Have faith in every single minute of life because life is too short to have any regrets. And that's so powerful and I think so amazing. And Luca, I wish I had that mindset when I was your age, but even better, I've got it now. So it just goes to show no matter how old or young you are, you can always just have an incredible mindset with just the faith that comes in every single second. Like I always say, every second you are alive, you should feel alive. So it's cool to see that how that's impacting you. Next question we got. Is Vinny better than you at ping pong? For those of you that don't know, that's my good mate, Vinny DeLeggi, right here. He's filming actually because we're YouTubing this as well. Anyway, I smoked him yesterday in the first game of ping pong, but then he ended up taking me out on the next two. So best 2 out of 3, he ended up winning. So I guess I gotta say that you are better than me at ping pong, Sir Vincent. But it's all good. All right, what do we got next? Jared Mushins. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. Not very good with that. But anyway, what inspired you to skate when you were a kid? I like to think that I'm still a kid, but to be honest, I got inspired to skate by Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. It was a video game that was out back in the day and got me psyched up all the time because my brother would play that thing almost every day with his friends. He wouldn't really let me play the game, but just watching him, I thought it was awesome. The one thing I'd make him do every time was watch the intro video all the way through because that's when the real people were skating, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And so my neighbor had a skateboard, and he ended up giving that to me. And once I started skating, I've been pretty much skating every day since. So, next question. Nash Daley. When did I learn my first skate trick? Pretty much right when I started skating, I learned tricks. You know, we had curbs outside of our house, and I would drop in on them, and it really was like, all right, I guess that's kind of a trick. But then one of the things I used to always do too, before I could really ollie properly, we had those little plastic kickers and we'd put a rail up to it, and so I would just ride off the kicker onto the rail, and yeah, it was pretty sick. But I guess if you want to call that a trick, that's one of the first tricks I learned, was just grinding on the rail. So here we go. Lucas Tafoya and Z Flemington, they both asked a similar question, which was, how do I share the gospel in the action sports skate community? And I think the best way to share the gospel in anything is just by how we act and how we are and how we treat other people. The words we say, are they uplifting or are they degrading? And I just try and really go in with that positive mindset. Like Jesus said, he asked us to be the light. A light on a hill cannot be shaken. And so I think that's what's really powerful, is when we have that opportunity, no matter where you're at or what industry you're in, as long as you can be the light. We got the lighthouse board right there, which, you know, storms of life all around it, and then the light shining through. And so that's like kind of prophetic for what we're in right now. I mean, as a culture, we're in such a gnarly storm right now, but all the time, all the more opportunity for us as believers to really be the light and shine that light and encourage people in this time to go from fear and step into faith, because faith is believing that there is going to be a better tomorrow. And so I'm believing that with all of my heart, all of my soul, and praying for that on the daily, and knowing that this is a great time to reset, recalibrate, and get focused back in on what's important and connection with other people. Hi from Germany. Man, we've got some questions from New Zealand. We got people from Germany. We got a question from Brazil coming on here later. This is amazing. We're worldwide right now. All right, here we go. Kamali Wilma, can we talk about new tricks? All right, new tricks. I'm always down to talk about new tricks. I think that's one of my favorite things about skateboarding is that there's truly limitless possibilities of what can be done on a skateboard. And through that, you're always able to learn something new. So whether I'm skating a curb, whether I'm on the mega ramp, whether I'm just skating vert or a bowls down the street, whatever it is, there's always some little trick that I haven't quite figured out. So even yesterday, I was skating my buddies while social distancing, of course, backyard mini ramp. We were both on both sides of the ramp, so, protection, everything is good. But anyway, I learned a couple new tricks then, so that's what I love about skating. There's always something new to learn and progress, and it's kind of like what keeps me wanting to thrive and progress in life. I learned that from skating, but now I'm able to take that into other areas, and I think as long as you continue to learn, you're going to continue to grow, and that's what's pretty awesome. I wasn't even going to go there yet, but we do have the book, Learn, Inquire, Visualize, Execute. Pre-orders are starting this week, but that's the first L of the book is learn, so that's what's cool about skating. So learning new tricks. Emma Conway 74 asked, what trick took me the longest to learn? I think one of the tricks that took me a long time to learn was the Swift roll, actually, from it kind of being inspired by the Special Flip, Special Greg on BMX, doing a backflip off the bike and catching the bike and getting back on it. And I was like, man, that's crazy. I wonder if you can do that on a skateboard. But I found out every time I tried it on a board to do a straight backflip, my board would just be launched to the other side of the foam pit. So I kind of started doing this cork barrel roll body varial thing, and that one took a long time to figure out how to get back under my feet. It was probably about a year and a half, 2 years in the foam pit, working that thing out, and then ended up just landing it one day in a random nitro show, and that was pretty epic. It was crazy because I'd been trying this trick for a while, and it's one of those tricks that at the beginning of the trick is if you're going to make it or not, and I know within the first millisecond after I take off if my board's going to be under me or if my board's going to be on the other side of the arena. So it was really crazy when I actually got hands on it and threw it down and rolled that thing away. That's always the craziest feeling, and such a great feeling is to learn something new, especially something that's never been done before or you didn't even know was possible. Brandon31 asked, what's the most fun trick you've learned? I've got so many tricks that I just absolutely love doing. One of the first tricks I ever learned that was one of my favorites and still is to this day is the kickflip Indy. I learned it at my local skate park. It was like this little spine section and you fly off the side, and so I would just start flipping my board, catch it, and put it under, and then I still continue to do this trick almost all the time, even in competitions. It's just such a fun trick and feels super good when you get the right flick, the right catch, and put it down. Another trick I always loved ever since I learned it was just the backflip. I think it's so cool to do backflips, and that one was just always fun, so I continue to enjoy doing that one as well. That's a fun one. All right, so now we're gonna get a little bit deep here. Guy Oliveira from Brazil, greetings from Brazil, ahoy to the Brazilian peeps, much love. So he asked, why do so many people have depression and anxiety nowadays? That's a gnarly question, and I don't necessarily know if I know the answer, but I want to encourage you just with how I feel about those circumstances and those situations and times that I might feel anxious or feel depressed or something like that coming upon me. So he's asking, why do so many people have it nowadays? I wasn't around back then, but I know the Bible actually talks a lot about anxiety, and it talks about casting your anxiety on him because he cares for you. And I think we can carry stuff that we were never meant to carry. We were called to live in freedom. When the earth was created, we were in divine connection with God immediately, but once we got separated from that, all these other things started to come upon us. The earth became oppressed, and so there's this oppression over the whole earth that just allows these other things to come in that we were never called to live in. And so I think if we can navigate and just get back into alignment with the source, again, like the word says, it talks about casting all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. So we don't need to carry those different things around. And there's definitely depression's high, anxiety's high, suicide rates are always continuing to escalate. Even in a time of a crisis, we're so scared of stuff that we don't even know. So I think if we can actually understand our fears, get a real revelation, and be more aware of them, we'll be able to actually have power over them, especially when we allow the power of Christ to rest in us, that we can come against anything that the enemy is trying to throw against us. I mean, we do not live in a perfect world, but we do live in a world where we can find greatness and opportunity in every single second if we're willing to look for it. I love that the word says that with God, all things are possible. And it's about being with God, not trying to do things for God. You can't earn your salvation. It's a free gift that God gave because he loves us all so much that he gave everything through his son, that we might be able to be reconciled with him, have a restored relationship with him, and be able to step into all that he's called us to be. God has an incredible plan for every single one of us. So no matter what circumstance we're in, if we can lean on faith, anxiety is going to go away. Depression is going to go away. All these different things are going to be just pretty much revoked from what we're feeling. And so hope that encourages you right there. Again, I do not know why so many people have it, but I do know the answer to it. It is just to look inward so that you can shine outward. All right, so next, and I see you just joined on, Charlie Rowan from England. We got the English brews on here. Time for tea. How we going? How to stay strong was his question. So Charlie, I want to encourage you with this. It's sick that you're on here, so I get to share it straight to you. How to stay strong. I love, again, going back to the Bible because that's the source, God's word. It says in Nehemiah that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So if we're looking to stay strong, then we need to look to the Lord to be our source of strength. Where we are weak, he is strong. And I think that's so powerful, again, as well, that we don't need to look to what we have, but we need to look to who gave us what we have, because he is our provider. He is our deliverer. He is our restorer. He is everything beyond anything we could ask or imagine. And he wants to do that in our life. And so another way, though, I think you can stay strong on a physical way is looking back to what you've done in the past and what you've been able to endure in the past and the things that you have been able to accomplish in the past. You can use that as momentum to precede you into what you want to do next. So, example for skating. If I've learned this crazy trick and I want to go for something new that I've never tried before, I can look back to my skills and be like, man, it worked then. If I have the faith to believe that it's going to work now, then we're going to be able to do something amazing. And so you kind of just get yourself into that motion of, all right, and finding that flow state. That's how you become into flow state, is just by being present in the moment, and that's what provides strength. I love the idea that a hurricane, right? A calm center produces great strength, and I have that actually written on my whiteboard right now, because if we can be calm in these moments, that can produce power, because we're able to generate out of a calm center to produce a lot of strength to be able to accomplish everything that we're called to. All right, so this is the last question that I have that got sent in from the yesterday little post, and from Ambitious Alicia. Advice for people that are looking to advice for people that are looking for God's destiny/purpose. All right, God's destiny and purpose. Everyone's kind of asking, man, what is God's will? And I think it's really amazing, because God's will isn't something that we can necessarily fathom in our mind. It's actually something so beyond that. And I love the idea that God talks about, and a great resource for you to check out is Purpose Driven Life. But really what it talks about is God cares way more about who we are than what we do. So it doesn't matter if I skate, it doesn't matter if I work a 9 to 5, it doesn't matter if I'm walking down the beach, it doesn't matter if I'm traveling, whatever it is, God just cares so much about who you are and how you operate. And if you're operating in his principles that he's set up, then the blessing's gonna be all over your life. So it's not necessarily people are always tripping out like, man, I don't know if this is God's call for me, I don't know if this is God's will for me, but really, there's a reason that you have the desires that you have. There was a reason that I loved skateboarding so much. So where I grew up, skateboarding wasn't popular at all. There was no skate parks really at all. Shout out to my dad for helping get that thing done, and the Knoxville skate park still standing strong. But at the time, it wasn't very prevalent. It was such a long shot, but I just dared to believe that God had a plan to prosper me, not to harm me, a plan to give me a hope and a future, and to do exceedingly beyond anything I could have asked or imagined. If we can be full of faith, daring to believe God for what he's gonna do and what he can do, then he's gonna be faithful to provide everything that we need. And that's just a testament to his goodness and his promises. So, there we go. That was all the questions that we had come through the question answer thing. But now I want to open it up for a few minutes to anyone has any questions on here or wants to say something. Let's open it up, and we'll get to you right now. Who we got on here? Caleb Vance. Oh my goodness, Vancey Pants. You legend. Charlie, hope you're doing well in England. Hopefully this thing blows over so we can get back to shredding it up at Creation Fest in Mount Hawk, man. Alicia, thanks for the question. That was awesome. Hope it encouraged you, hope it impacted you, and that you can take something from this and continue just being in his presence. That's ultimately God's will for us, is to be with him. All right, anything else I might have missed earlier? Yeah, Dad, my dad is amazing. I know he was on here for a second. Shout out Tim Flem. He's my big guy. All right, what else we got? Any more questions? Da-na-na. All right. Tristan the Christian Skater, I miss you, bud. Hope you're strong. Hope you're doing well. Melody, how am I keeping physically active? Well, thankfully, I do have friends with backyard ramps, so we're able to get a little bit of sessions in then while distancing, of course, but also just, doing different yoga, stretching, physical strength and conditioning inside the house as much as we can, and just really looking for nutrient-dense foods, smoothies, all that good stuff to just keep the immune system built up and healthy. It's nice. So that's how we're keeping physically active in this lockdown. Breathing exercises have been a game changer too. I've been committing to that almost every day. Becca, what's one thing I'm grateful for at this time? To be honest, I'm just grateful for, and I think Luca said it at the beginning, have faith in every single minute of life, because life's too short to have regrets. And I'm just thankful that I'm here and that I'm alive. And every day that presents itself as an amazing opportunity to connect with people, to connect with God, and to connect with nature. And so if I'm able to do that, even if we're stuck inside, there's different ways to connect with different things. And I think that's what it's all about, is these relationships that we have. Our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with God, and our relationship with people. So I'm grateful for relationships. Fourth and Roebling, fighting COVID-19 out of your body. Well, I am praying and believing with you that you are going to have full health and restoration coming out of this, and this sickness will not end in death, and that you will come back stronger than you went into it. And I'll just pray for you right now. Lord, we lift this situation up for you, and I speak to every cell in your body and command it to be just the way that you intended it to be from creation, in Jesus' name. Also, continue to just build up that immune system and honor the temple, and you're going to be thriving in this life. In a season where people are trying to just get by, we have the opportunity to thrive, so I'm believing that for you. Yeah, Tristan set up one of my boards yesterday. Tag me in a photo of it, man. I want to see that thing. All right, what else we got? Tyson Skate Park misses me. I miss it as well. It's a good time. South Africa shout out. Let's go. All right, we're hitting all continents almost. I mean, we need to hit Antarctica, and I think we'll have them all, but that's pretty epic right there. Yeah, I'm excited. Anything else you guys want while we're on here? This is good. Just drinking a nice cup of water, actually. I already had the coffee. Hey, Beaver, how are you doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm excited. I'm just enjoying what we can enjoy for right now. Just blessed to be alive and out here. Brandon Bates, legend. Doing good, man. Yes, Nitro is postponed as of right now. I believe they are rescheduling all the events. It'll be coming soon. Not sure when, but we'll definitely keep you posted, man. Boom! There we go. That was a fun one. We did a little different. Maybe I'll do this quarterly where you guys get to send in the questions of what you want to be motivated on and inspired with. So check it out. Like, subscribe, comment, and share this with someone if you feel it impacted you in any way. You!